Radio. It is another episode of the Sohria Alexander Show, and it is Wednesday. Good evening, everyone. Radio Land, Liberty 92.3 FM. How are you guys doing? Hello, my radio listeners. I'm here at 9 p.m., so don't be late. I'm hearing you're loving the show, and I too am loving it. It sounds so wonderful on radio. Welcome to all of you. Welcome to those in Facebook land and YouTube land, soon to be on Liberty TV, where many of you who don't know what I look like will see who is Sohria Alexander. My people, how are y'all? How are y'all? How are y'all? I'm here again with my bubbly self, and let us talk, let us rap. It's gonna be hot tonight because I'm going hard. I'm going hard. I'm going hard. We going all guns blazing tonight because, people, I have to go all guns blazing tonight because, as I said, I have a responsibility to the young people. They are watching us. They may be silent, not saying anything, but they're watching our behavior. We are failing the young people. The reason why we have so much crime and conflict in this country, it is as a result of our behavior as leaders, as older citizens, right? We need to do the right thing. And I am all guns blazing tonight because I was here on Monday evening speaking to you about the young people and giving them positive ideas as to what to do. And then all this was eroded by the bacchanal that happened in the House of Assembly, House of Parliament on Tuesday morning. My people, I was so taken aback. We have to be honest. And if there is one thing I try to pride myself on, is to be fair, is to be impartial, and try my best not to be biased. Right? We can have our personal biases, which is fine. That does not affect the wider population. Right? You can have your little biases. But when it boils down to what I witnessed happened in the House of Parliament on Tuesday, this was embarrassing. And we want to ask ourselves, why is crime on the rise in our country? Really, the answer is in front of our faces. Our leaders refuse to be an example. I cannot come here to say to you, do not smoke. And I myself, I am a heavy smoker. Excuse me, that would mean that I'm a hypocrite. So I cannot come as a leader to say we must be working together as one, unifying everyone on whichever side of the divide. And let us work together. And in the House of Parliament on Tuesday, the bacchanal that happened there. Oh, and I was so embarrassed. Let me tell you, people. Let me tell you, my sweet people. I had some stuff to do on the Tuesday. I had to get into a certain place to do what I have to do. So I said, okay, let me just give it a little while. Let me see what's happening. And let me tell you, I had to leave the government of St. Lucia live when the House sitting was going on because of what I saw. I never went back to watch it, but some of my followers were saying to me, and even people tagged me to say, Dr. Anthony's presentation was brilliant. And no doubt it had to be brilliant. I will take some time, just a little tight for me now, but I'll take some time to really listen to it, because as anything, he would have explained what happened. My people, we must be able, and this is what I say, if I sit on any board, I will always err on the side of being a professional and remove my personal feelings concerning anyone when I have to make a decision. But sorry to say, in St. Lucia, many decisions are made because I do not like this person is red, I do not like this person is yellow, instead of taking a professional approach to our decisions. Now hear this, my people. We want, and we have been seeing it, that the crime every other day, every weekend is a bow, 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 wild, wild west, bow, 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 wild, wild west. And let me tell you, you have to be the example. But there is no example, so the criminals care. Nobody care. Is me? I just walking in a crowd and bow, dead. You gone. Because they are realizing conflict resolution is bow, 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 or a cuff in your head, or fighting. They are not seeing that the leaders, the movers and shakers of these countries are saying, yes, we disagree. However, we are going to do it respectfully. They are watching us. So let me tell you, if the tone, and I'm going to be very frank with you, if the tone in the country, which starts from our leaders, as we saw in the House of Parliament on Tuesday, if the tone in the country is to fight each other, and it is being realized by the criminals that not even the leaders can say, okay, we're on different sides of the divide, but however, hey, let us argue or debate in a respectful way. What I witnessed, and I'm telling you, the young people are watching, and let me tell you what they are saying. They're saying there is no example in this country. What happened, and people will say this has always been happening. Yes, not because something has always been happening that it gives you the right to do the wrong thing. Not because something has always been happening that it gives you the right to do the wrong thing. And the mentality of our people in St. Lucia needs to change. We cannot act like we dotish. We cannot act like we dance. The mentality of our people in St. Lucia has to change. And, I was pleasantly surprised, I must say, Radio Land, some of you who may not be following me, maybe you can get your children or somebody, or even the young people, you could follow me on my page, Sohria Alexander. My name is spelled very differently. It's very unique. It is Sohria, that's my first name, Alexander, Alexander. So you can just search me on Facebook and you'll see what's happening on my page and get in with the action. But let me go back to my point. I was pleasantly surprised. And when I was like, no, this is wrong. This did not happen in the House of Parliament. We cannot do that. And I was very happy to see people who support the now government, the current government, say, nah, we need to do better. This is wrong. At least we are starting to go somewhere. At least we are starting to go somewhere. Because a lady who is a strong supporter of the St. Lucia Labour Party said, she supports them, but they should have allowed Honorable Alan Shasney to speak. I love that. We do not have to be enemies. We can say, okay, if you, whichever party you support, you could say, okay, this is wrong, you should not have done that, and not receive hate. Because I did that, you know. I corrected the leader of the opposition, you know, tried to correct the errors of his ways, and I was attacked. But I am very happy to see that there are people on the opposite side, St. Lucia Labour Party, who say, no, man, we need to do better. And that is the step in the right direction. It is better to have a friend say to you, what you did there was not right. Correct that. But if you have people around you who are only going to say what you want to hear, you are going to be a failure. You are going to be a failure. And many times when people correct you, it doesn't mean that they hate you. It means that they want you to do better. Now, conflict resolution. Conflict resolution is something that is lacking, not only with government, even in our private lives. Conflict resolution is lacking. And what I have realized from living in St. Lucia, many people prefer not to sit and have a discussion. They prefer quarrel. Now you see this back and forth. We see it on Facebook. We see it everywhere. And we saw it in the House of Parliament on Tuesday. We saw it in the House of Parliament on Tuesday, and I was ashamed. Though the role of the Speaker of the House is to protect the minority. And we are telling children in school, on Facebook, at work, in government not to bully. But the highest office of the land where they sit, which is the House of Parliament, where they all sit, the 17 members of Parliament sit to make decisions, we saw what happened. We saw the fighting. We saw the disrespect. We saw the bullying. And this should not happen on either side. It tells me that we do not know how to resolve conflict. Conflict resolution, let me explain to you what it is. And I believe we spend a lot of money, and this is why I say we need to develop our human resources. We spend a lot of money on all sorts of wrong things. But we are not spending our money to help the people of St. Lucia. Human resources. We are not spending our money to help the people of St. Lucia. Conflict resolution. We want to cover the bubble instead of cleaning it and putting the right medicine in it. Conflict resolution is a way for two or more parties to find a peaceful solution to a disagreement among them. The disagreement may be personal, financial, political, or emotional. When a dispute arises, often the best course of action is negotiation to resolve the disagreement. Negotiation. And what we saw in the House of Parliament on Tuesday was egregious. The young people are watching, the criminals are watching. Right now, we want to blame the criminals, but the criminals are looking, they're not stupid. If the criminals realize that the people in the highest office of the land cannot sit and say, okay, I have 185,000 people that I'm responsible for. Let us sit and work together for the betterment of them all. You think the criminals will say, okay, let me go and talk to the gang member. Let me go talk to the gang member. Let me try and let's resolve this. Let's call it a truce, fellas. Let us put them guns down. Let's, just try and live in harmony. Let's work out and let's be an inspiration to all those who may want to be in the crime life. Let's talk to them and tell them that's not the way to go. You think the criminals will do that? But you're fighting in parliament like cats and dogs. You're fighting, you're beating up each other. No conflict resolution. You cannot ask for unity and you fighting in the highest place where you make the decisions on behalf of the people of St. Lucia. And that goes for both sides. I am not taking any sides. I am just calling the shots as I see it. This is wrong. This is egregious. What is going on in this country is madness. Let us put our guns down. Let us put the fighting down. Let us resolve. We are too small of a nation to be fighting with each other like that. We are too small of a nation to be having all this madness going on. We need to come together. And anytime a country starts forgetting God, anytime a country starts forgetting God, you are in trouble. And I was watching DJ Khaled from America on Tuesday, the Jennifer Hudson show. And this man said the reason why he is successful, he puts his trust and faith in God. Look at these people who sing all their songs and whatever. Their faith and their confidence lies in God. Have we forgotten God, St. Lucia, that we are so politically blind that we want to fight each other and in the process destroying our country? Is that what we want to do, St. Lucia? Is that what we want to do? Let us remove the blinders from our eyes and let us fight the good fight of truth, the good fight of honesty. People, it is time we remove ourselves from this political thing. Everybody has a political affiliation, and that is cool. We don't have a problem with that. But we must not be so politically blinded that we're ready to destroy each other or our country. Now, I am going to play for you the incident that happened in the House with the Speaker of the House and the Honorable Alan Shastney. Let us stand for righteousness. Let us stand for what is right, irrespective of who the person is. Because if we do that, then we're going to have a better generation. But from what I'm seeing, we're in serious trouble. My producer is going to play the clip.
Another controversial moment for opposition leader Alan Shastney in the House of Parliament. During the Tuesday, February 28th sitting of the House, lawmakers debated a resolution to borrow US $5 million to build capacity and resilience in the health sector to respond to COVID-19. In his contribution, the Mico South MP attempted to respond to comments made by the member for Labrie, Alva Baptiste, who spoke prior to him. However, he would be asked by the House Speaker as well as government MPs to stick to the substantive part of the debate.
I'm in court, Mr. Speaker, with one of the members over allegations that he made that DSH was using CIP funds to fund their program. Up until now, it's not happened. You proved nothing. You said, Mr. Speaker, the member from Castries Central said publicly.
Member from Mico South, there is a motion before you, and I would hope that your contribution can at least, even if a fleeting glance, touch that motion. You are straying on a tangent that I can't allow you to proceed on. Please keep to the motion.
Boy, Mr. Speaker, only if you would have followed your own advice. Mr. Speaker, the members had indicated that DSH used funds from CIP. They indicated...
Member for Miku South, what is the relevance of the funds for DSH with the motion before you?
A back and forth then ensued between the Speaker and the clearly agitated opposition leader, with the Speaker cautioning him. The opposition leader was adamant as he articulated his inability to carry on with responding to allegations leveled at him.
Are you now making a side's official part of the record?
I asked you, Mr. Speaker.
And did I respond?
Very well, Mr. Speaker. Again, we're going to want to avoid the truth. Here we are, one person in the House, and you're not giving me any liberty. I'm going to have to respond to 15 people, but you know, the young people here to see for themselves.
Please,
what the democracy of...
Member from Miku South, when I'm speaking, you take your seat. You don't speak together with me. Be careful, member for Castries Central. Be careful, member for Miku South, with your allegations against the chair. Please be very careful. Proceed, please.
Mr. Speaker, my allegations against the chair were taken to the court, and therefore I allowed an independent entity to determine who was right and who was wrong.
The argument would continue with the opposition leader asking for the Speaker to silence MPs from the governing side in order for him to carry on with his contribution. The opposition leader was eventually asked to take his seat by the presiding officer.
Either you're going to allow me to respond to the rebutting or stop the rebutting.
It's either you listen to me or you don't speak.
Mr. Speaker,
these are the rules.
We've affirmed that this is your House. This is not being done objectively.
Let's not debate.
Do as you please, Mr. Speaker.
Do not debate with me, member.
You cannot come and tell me on...
No, member.
How am I supposed to trust
Member, you do not debate with me. And if you proceed to debate with me, I will ask you to take your seat. Please proceed.
Mr. Speaker, I'm asking you to provide with me the basic protection that you're supposed to be protecting me. If you want me to be able to speak and not respond, ask them to listen to me.
Member, I'm asking you for the final time to continue. If you do not wish to continue, you shall take your seat.
Mr. Speaker, I'm simply asking for your protection.
Member, please take your seat.
The opposition leader would instead opt to exit the chamber.
Mr. Speaker, I'm going to do a step better, okay? Mr. Speaker, I have lost all confidence in you as a Speaker.
Member,
I'm surprised to see that you're here, Mr. Speaker. Okay? And if in fact, that this is going to continue, one person representing the opposition, and I want to remind all of you that, one person representing the opposition to be able to speak, and y'all don't want to allow that person to speak, shame on y'all. But that's okay. I will leave y'all to the people of St. Lucia. Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. Dead weight.
Member for Miku South.
You never respect for us. You never respect for us. Never. You never respected our people. You never respected us. Look at the children at them. Look at your behavior.
For the DBS News World, I am Zain Romulus.
My people, I am so livid at the behavior of big men in the House of Parliament acting worse than toddlers. Acting worse than toddlers. What is the meaning of that? What are you saying to our new generation? What are you saying to our young people? What are you saying? This is heart-wrenching. What happened? And you know what got me furious too? You know what got me irate too? I knew that they were law students. My Lord and my God. I knew there were law students from the Sir Arthur Lewis Community College, along with their lecturer, attending the House of Parliament to witness the signing or the ascension to the CCJ. But you know what they witnessed? Bacchanal, mepui, bacchanal. Back and forth. This is what they witnessed. hell did those members of parliament set for those law students? I tell you, we have totally lost it in this country. And what I don't understand, there are 15 of you against one man, right? 15 of you against one man. I would have let him speak, because the Speaker of the House, your job is to protect the minority. And Alan Shastney felt slighted, and he had every right to feel so, because if it was me, and if this was done by the other side, let's say the other party was in power, and they did that to a lone member of parliament, I would say it was wrong also. We cannot be biased with the things we're doing. And the sad thing, it's, when the young people are saying to me, Auntie So-so, we do not care, we're not voting, we do not care. Look at the behavior of the people who are supposed to lead our country. What is going on now? You see, this is why I am different. If I was a member of parliament on the governing side, I would rise on a point of order and say to the Speaker of the House, he is in the minority and you have to protect him. Give him the latitude to speak and the time he needs to speak. And I would also caution my fellow members of parliament to desist from that kind of cantankerous behavior. This is who I am. This is what I believe in. I would, because at the end of the day, would you like somebody to do that to you? Imagine you're in a board meeting, right? And then you are trying to bring across a point and everybody's quarreling, everybody's shouting, and nobody in that board meeting or the chairman of the board is not saying, hey, relax yourself and let us hear what she is saying. Let me tell you, do unto others as you would like them to do unto you. I believe God has left the building because the behavior we saw today was egregious, and there was a lot of gaslighting. Let me tell you something, and I want to specifically speak to Honorable Moses Jabatis. If I treated you badly, and now when I was in a position, and now you are in a position to treat me badly, what you should do is show me that you are better than me. We shouldn't, and Honorable Moses Jabatis, is a gentleman. I find he's cool and I like him, but his behavior yesterday was egregious. His behavior was egregious. Let me tell you, the past is supposed to shape your future. If our parliamentarians look at what has happened previously, they would not have behaved like this in the House of Parliament. It was totally wrong. It was totally egregious. Doing these kind of things only build resentment and conflict. Now, Alan Shastney walked out of the House because he felt the Speaker wasn't protecting him. So listen to that. Listen to that, people. We have to be very, very, very careful when you are a leader. If a parliamentarian is feeling like he is not protected as being the minority, listen to what the people, the lower level people on the ground said. They keep saying they feel government don't care for them. They feel the police don't care for them. They feel this one don't care for them, that one don't care for them. So people, you are the leaders, the men and women. You are the movers. You are the shakers. That behavior on Tuesday wasn't called for. And what you have to realize also, it is not only St. Lucian's viewing the House sitting. There are people from around the world viewing the House sitting. You do not want people from around the world to think that St. Lucia is a dictatorship where it is your way, it is my way, or the highway. The behavior in the House of Parliament on Tuesday was totally unacceptable. And when you have a minister of government, it tells me, and I will be very frank with you, it tells me that the level of maturity of our parliamentarians is zero. So I want to find out if the leader of the opposition never respected St. Lucians. Shouldn't you, as a parliamentarian, show him we respect our St. Lucians and we respect you, to show you that we are better than you? Why wasn't he given the time to speak? I am not looking at this thing with political eyes. I am looking at this with eagle's eyes, because what happened on Tuesday was wrong. And we must start to develop that attitude, not only for politics, but for every organization, clubs, or wherever we are. When something is wrong, say it's wrong. But because of our association with the people or whatever, we do not want to say, hey, pull back. What you did is wrong. People, let us do better than that. We do not want to be the laughing stock. We are a small nation. We are a dot on the island. Did you see the behavior of the other parliamentarians? It was egregious. Now, let me go through it again. Mr. Producer, you can play the recording and then I will expound on it.
Another controversial moment for opposition leader Alan Chasney in the House of Parliament. During the Tuesday, February 28th sitting of the House, lawmakers debated a resolution to borrow US $5 million to build capacity and resilience in the health sector to respond to COVID-19. In his contribution, the Micoud South MP attempted to respond to comments made by the member for Labrie, Alva Baptiste, who spoke prior to him. However, he would be asked by the House Speaker as well as government MPs to stick to the substantive part of the debate.
I'm in court, Mr. Speaker, with one of the members over allegations that he made that DSH was using CIP funds to fund their program. Up until now, it's not happened. You proved nothing. You said, Mr. Speaker, the member from Castries Central said publicly.
Member from Micoud South, there is a motion before you, and I would hope that your contribution can at least, even if a fleeting glance, touch that motion.
The Speaker of the House said to the member of Micoud South, he hoped his contribution, even with a fleeting glance. We need a Speaker of the House that is not political. And what I believe, we need a lot of things. We went to the House of Parliament today, on Tuesday. We went to the House of Parliament on Tuesday to remove ourselves from the Privy Council to the CCJ. That is fine. You want to do that? Go ahead. But what I do not understand, the things that are really affecting us as St. Lucians, it's not being changed. Why isn't the Constitution of St. Lucia amended to have a fixed election date, a fixed term for prime ministers, and change a lot of things, whereas the Speaker of the House should be voted, non-political, so you get people who are qualified in the law field or whatever, non-political, and we just vote. We vote for a Speaker of the House. And the Speaker of the House have to remember that he is representing the people of St. Lucia. Because this is what the Speaker of the House has to do. You represent the people of St. Lucia by protecting our interests in the House from both sides, the opposition and the governing body, governing party. This is what a Speaker of the House have to do. But I believe, and I'm going to be very frank, that we should have a new Speaker of the House. And the reason why I'm saying to you that we should have a new Speaker of the House, there is bad blood between the Speaker of the House and Alan Chasney. We do not want that. We have so much issues in our country already, and for us to come into a House of Parliament and there is bad blood between a Speaker of the House and a Member of Parliament, and where the Member of Parliament, has taken the Speaker of the House to court. I believe the prudent thing to do is for the Prime Minister to ask the Speaker of the House to resign and for us to get somebody new. Because every time we will enter into that House of Parliament, is going to be a bacchanal, is going to be a mepui, is going to do this, is going to do that. You mean to tell me, growing up, our members of Parliament, I'm sure your parents taught you all right from wrong, that you sit there. It is not a show. When you sit in the House of Parliament, it is not a show. You are representing the people of St. Lucia, the people's business. And listen, we have to be fair. We cannot not be fair. We have to be fair. The member of Miku South was elected. He is representing people who elected him. So for you not to give him that opportunity to speak, whereas I witnessed other members of Parliament throwing shade to him, and then the Prime Minister himself stood up and then he went off course, talking, and the Speaker of the House didn't stop him. One man, let me tell you, we do not want this kind of behavior in the highest office of the land. We have to do better. I don't care which side it is, people. What happened, it left a bad taste in my mouth, and it was wrong. Carry on, Mr. Producer.
Contribution can at least, even if a fleeting glance, touch that motion. You are straying on a tangent that I can't allow you to proceed on. Please keep to the motion.
Why, Mr. Speaker? Only if you would have followed your own advice. Mr. Speaker, the members had indicated that DSH used funds from CIP. They indicated...
Member for Miku South, what is the relevance of the funds for DSH with the motion before you?
A back and forth then ensued between the Speaker and the clearly agitated opposition leader, with the Speaker cautioning him. The opposition leader was adamant as he articulated his inability to carry on with responding to allegations leveled at him.
Are you now making a side's official part of the record?
I asked you, Mr. Speaker.
And did I respond?
The Speaker of the House has no control of the House. Because, as I have said, the Speaker of the House is supposed to protect the minority. And he is not doing that. Why wasn't he allowed to respond to the allegations? And the other sides were allowed. And while he is speaking, they are jeering. You know, it is working in your... It is not working in your favor. If you want to win people over, you have to do everything right and allow the man to speak. We do not want to see this kind of thing in our country. I don't care which side it is. We do not want to see this. Go ahead.
Responding to allegations leveled at him.
Are you now making a side's official part of the record?
I asked you, Mr. Speaker.
And did I respond?
Very well, Mr. Speaker. Again, we're going to want to avoid the truth. Here we are, one person in the House, and you're not giving me any liberty. I'm going to have to respond to 15 people, but you know...
Exactly. One person in the House, and you're not giving him the liberty to speak. Whereas, you know, the others stood up and went at him. You are supposed to protect. You are doing the business or conducting the business of the people. We have to be fair. As I said, I don't care with either side. I'm just here on the side of truth. Carry on, Mr. Speaker, Mr. Producer.
Speaker, again, we're going to want to avoid the truth. Here we are, one person in the House, and you're not giving me any liberty. I'm going to have to respond to 15 people, but you know, the young people here to see for themselves
please,
what the democracy of
member from Microsoft, when I'm speaking, you take your seat. You don't speak together with me. Be careful, member for Castries Central. Be careful, member for Mico South, with your allegations against the chair. Please be very careful. Proceed, please.
Mr. Speaker, my allegations against the chair were taken to the court, and therefore I allowed an independent entity to determine who was right and who was wrong.
The argument would continue with the opposition leader asking for the speaker to...
So the opposition leader, and this is what I am saying, we have so much to deal with in this country. We have crime, we have unemployment, we have the minimum wage, we have our health issues, we have so many things to deal with in this country. You think we should be dealing with a member of parliament taking the Speaker of the House to court? And we can see the bad blood, we can see it. The House of Parliament is there for debate, and you know, they can have the usual pick on, but this is personal. We can see the personal papi show going on there. So the member of parliament, the member for Mico South, he can't be ejected from his from the house, his seat, because he was elected by the people. However, the Speaker of the House can be fired or asked to resign. Mr. Prime Minister, I'm speaking to you as a concerned citizen. It is really sad. I really felt sad on Tuesday that this kind of fighting is happening in the House. Now, you know, I've seen speakers, I've seen Mr. Foster in action with Guy Joseph, blah, blah, blah. But it was nothing personal. It was nothing personal, but we are realizing that there is a personal issue with Honorable Alan Shastley and Mr. Claudius Francis. There is a personal issue. We, the citizens of St. Lucia, we do not care with your personal issues. We should not be dragged into your personal issues. We should not be dragged into your bacchanal. And we need the government to focus on things that really affect us. You know, it is really disheartening. It is really disheartening when we see these kind of things happening. Go ahead, Mr. Producer.
Against the chair were taken to the court, and therefore I allowed an independent entity to determine who was right and who was wrong.
The argument would continue with the opposition leader asking for the Speaker to silence MPs from the governing side in order for him to carry on with his contribution. The opposition leader was eventually asked to take his seat by the presiding officer.
Either you're going to allow me to respond to the rebutting or stop the rebutting.
Member, no, what? It's either you listen to me or you don't speak.
Mr. Speaker,
These are the...
Oh my God, this is hilarious. This is hilarious. Mr. Producer, can you play that for my listening audience and my viewing audience to hear? I cannot believe what I heard.
Member, no, what? It's either you listen to me or you don't speak.
Mr. Speaker,
these are the rules.
We've affirmed that this...
Ho, 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 my people, we're in trouble. My people, we're in trouble. No. The Speaker of the House, you were not elected, but the member for Mico South was elected, and you're saying to him that it's either he listened to you or he don't speak. This is wrong on all levels. Lately, the government has been making a lot of errors. This is wrong on all levels, and I have to speak of it because people, when we as the older adults leave and go, what are we leaving for the younger generation? A mess. We are leaving a mess for them. This cannot be right. This in no way, shape, or form, however you twist it, you tie it, you untangle it, this cannot be right. And I'm not speaking in favor of any political party. I'm speaking as someone who viewed what happened was incorrect, was wrong.
The presiding officer.
Either you're going to allow me to respond to the rebutting or stop the rebutting.
Member,
One way or the other, Mr. Speaker.
no, what? It's either you listen to me or you don't speak.
Mr. Speaker,
These are the rules.
we've affirmed that this is your house. This is not being done objectively.
Member, let's not
Do as you
debate.
please, Mr. Speaker.
Do not debate
But
with
Mr.
me,
Speaker,
member.
You cannot come and tell me on
No,
what.
member.
How am I supposed to trust you,
Member,
Mr. Speaker?
member, you do not debate with me. And if you proceed to debate with me, I will ask you to take your seat. Please proceed.
Mr. Speaker, I'm asking you to provide with me
Member,
the
please
basic protection
do
that
not-
you're supposed to be protecting me. If you want me to be able to speak
Member-
and not respond,
member,
ask
please-
them to listen to me. in
Member,
silence.
I'm
Please,
asking you
Mr.
for the final time to continue. If you do not wish to continue, you shall take your seat.
Mr. Speaker, I'm simply asking
Member,
for your
please.
protection.
Did I hear faintly somebody, a member of parliament, tell him then take your things and go? What is happening in our country? People, what is happening in our country? As I said, I don't care for red or yellow. What is happening in our country? Let us do things with decorum, with honesty, with dignity and pride. The young people have every right to say they're not going to listen to us. What is this happening? The young people can't even look at y'all as any example. We had our future lawyers at a house sitting for the CCJ. Right? And this is the behavior. And one of the members of parliament had the audacity to say, oh, the young people are here and look at how you're behaving, but look at how you're behaving too. Look at how you're behaving too. What madness is this? What is happening?
To continue. If you do not wish to continue, you shall take your seat.
Mr. Speaker, I'm simply asking
Member,
for your
please,
protection.
member, please take your seat.
The opposition leader would instead opt to exit the chamber.
Mr. Speaker, I'm going to do a step better, okay? Mr. Speaker, I have lost all confidence in you as the Speaker of the House.
Member,
I'm surprised to see that you're here, Mr. Speaker, okay? And if in
So bullying, we chastise the children that did the TikTok. We chastise them. We want to say, don't do this, don't do that. But look at big men seated in a house of parliament bullying another man. Oh, no, it cannot continue like that. Then you ask yourself, why isn't our country growing? Why isn't our country moving forward? Because we are too tied up in political madness, political roro to get at this one. Why don't you say, okay, I don't support this person, but this person has a good idea, or this person has a right to speak. Why don't I allow this person the time to speak? Let me tell you, it is always good to err on the side of truth. You allow him to speak, and you come back and rebut respectfully. We are tired as St. Lucians with both sides, the back and forth. We are tired. We want our country to move forward. And there is just too much noise in the country. On Facebook have noise. In House of Parliament have noise. On the ground has noise. We want peace in our country and unity. Peace and unity starts with you as an individual. It doesn't start with somebody else. So if you believe that the leader of the opposition was behaving in a wrong way and you want peace, you would have dealt with the situation in a different way.
Instead opt to exit the chamber.
Mr. Speaker, I'm going to do a step better, okay? Mr. Speaker, I have lost all confidence in you as the Speaker of the House.
member,
I'm surprised to see that you're here, Mr. Speaker, okay? And if in fact that this is going to continue, and one person representing the opposition, and I want to remind all of you that, one person representing the opposition to be able to speak, and y'all don't want to allow that person to speak, shame on y'all. But that's okay. I will leave y'all to the people of St. Lucia. Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker.
Now, he said that he's going to leave them to the people of St. Lucia. Like Shasney or not like Shasney, he is very right in that. Because look, me, I am an independent person, and it is true. It gave me a bad taste in my mouth. People, let's stop that. And for years, on both sides, whether it's SLP or UWP, for years, people have been saying, stop this, stop the fighting, stop the bacchanal, stop the rural. Let us work with each other. We are one. We are St. Lucians. It's okay to disagree with me. It's okay for me to disagree with you. But it's how it is done. It is done in the wrong way. There is so much hostility, and we want crime to solve. We want crime to stop in St. Lucia. No, it's not gonna, sorry to burst your bubble. It's not going to stop anytime soon. We want the country to quiet down. We want the country to quiet down. Let's work together. When it's time for another election, we'll go out, you'll do what you have to do for you to win. But in order to win people over, there must be a level of respect. The bullying in the House of Parliament by either side is wrong. Carry on, Mr. Producer.
Is going to continue. One person representing the opposition, and I want to remind all of you that one person representing the opposition to be able to speak, and y'all don't want to allow that person to speak, shame on y'all. But that's okay. I will leave y'all to the people of St. Lucia. Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. Dead weight.
Oh, Mr. Producer, when I finish speaking, I want you to bring it back a little. Did you hear the things that will be saying, that was being said by people, by men that's supposed to lead us, spoil child, spoil this? Oh, yo, 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 yo. We're in trouble. We're in trouble. It tells me, and I kept saying that, emotionally intelligent. When you are emotionally intelligent, you can never react to the leader of opposition the way it was done in the House of Parliament. Oh my goodness. And then, this, honestly, it is sad. It is sad. Because when the little kids, the students are in kindergarten playing, and then they start calling each other names, calling each other that, how can we really correct them? It's at the highest level. The impact, the psychological impact of what is happening in the House of Parliament of St. Lucia is destroying the people of St. Lucia. This is egregious.
Very much, Mr. Speaker. Dead weight. I want to tell you all something. If you want one person, y'all can...
Member from Miku South.
You never have respect for us. You never have respect for us. Never. You never respect.
You hear Moses Jabatis, you never have respect for us. People, let me tell you, the greatest disease anyone can have is hatred. When are we going to get past this nonsense? When are we going to get past this back and forth and get busy with the work of the country? Let me tell you, there is strength in numbers, yes. There is strength in numbers, and bullying can happen when there is strength in numbers, because if I am a woman, I'm driving in my vehicle, and then 15 other cars surround me, what can I do? The only thing I can do is call on the Holy Spirit, and He takes over. But in the flesh, what can I do? Let us love each other. I do not care if you SLP, if you UWP, if you know P. We are citizens of St. Lucia. Because if I am walking down the road or I'm driving and I get a flat tire, and one of the guys decided, somebody said, you have a flat tire, so I may be able to change my flat tire, but this gentleman will come, let me change it for you. Am I going to ask this gentleman, are you an SLP? Are you a UWP? Are you what? What nonsense is that? Is he going to say, she has a flat tire, I am not going to help her, I don't know if she's SLP, I don't know if she's UWP, I don't know if she's no P. Have we gone senile? Have we gone senile? Have we lost it? Let us embrace and love each other. I may not come and sit and eat and drink with you, but I don't have to be cursing or disrespecting you. And then we wonder why children, then we wonder why the young people are always fighting in tongue, and the school children always in a milling. Look at y'all. Just take a look at Alia. Alia think that good? Take a look at Alia. In the House of Parliament, spoiled brat and everything. It was wrong. It was wrong. I don't care who is in power, who not. It was wrong. What is this? Are we one day to expect fighting to erupt in the House of Parliament? Mr. Producer, continue.
I want to tell you all something. If you want one person,
Member from Microsoft.
You never had respect for us. You never had respect for us. Never. You never respected our people. You never respected us. Look at the children of them. Look at your behavior.
For the DBS News World, I am Zain Romulus.
Moses Jean-Baptiste is saying to Alan Chasney that he never had respect for us, yes. So if he never had respect for us, let us show him that we are different from him by showing him that we respect him and give him all the latitude that he needs to do a presentation in the House of Parliament. This was wrong on all levels. In everything that you do, you need to be just. You need to be fair. And if we proclaim that we are Christian or a Christian nation, that we are a Christian nation, why aren't we showing the fruits of the Spirit? Why aren't we showing the fruits of the Spirit? Patience, long-suffering. And I believe that our ministers of government, our members of parliament on both sides of the divide need some long-suffering, some gentleness, some kindness, some meekness. Get some of those fruits of the Spirit. And when people are in such high positions, they can forget the core values of what the nation stands for. St. Lucia's supposed to be a peaceful society, but lately the noise have been overbearing. It has become too loud, too noisy. Let us all examine our lives and let us surrender. And I tell you, I love when I listen to DJ Khaled on Tuesday. He was on Jennifer Hud's show. And in God he trusts. In God he puts everything. And we see those people succeeding. And we ask why? Because they put their faith and trust in God. Because in positions like this, you need to be able to connect with God. You need to be able for God to give you the wisdom. You need for you to be able to say that, Lord, I am not representing myself. I'm not even only representing my constituency, I am also representing the people of St. Lucia, irrespective of their political affiliation. It was a sad day on Tuesday that this had to happen. And it takes a man, when he wrongs you, to come to say, listen, our behavior is not up to par, and I would like to apologize, and we can do better. But it is not just saying the words, it's really meaning it and putting the effort. In order to change, you have to put in the effort. And again, this was a no-no. And I'm one who loves to watch debates, the House of Parliament and stuff like that. And it really rubbed me the wrong way. And Paul, one of my followers, is saying to me, so you need to watch Honorable Dr. Kenny's presentation. It was fabulous, obviously. It must have been fabulous. I will take some time and watch it. Maybe I might have some time over the weekend or whatever, but when I have time, I'll sit and watch it. But it is sad that this happened. Very, very sad that this had to transpire. We need to get away from the mentality that it is only me, 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 me. It is not only about us. When much is given to someone, much is expected. When much is given to someone, much is expected. And I am hoping that my words tonight did not fall on deaf ear. Let us do what is right.